Good morning, y'all. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day today. I know I sure am. And if you clicked on today's videos to get tips or learn about manscaping on a thru hike, what is wrong with you? Why would you want to watch a video about that? Why would you click on a video about manscaping on a thru hike? Instead, today I am going to be answering questions that were asked about my thru hike. A few weeks ago, I made a video and I asked my subscribers to ask me questions about my thru hike. And some of y'all did. And today I am going to answer those questions. All right, so let's get into this. Okay, the first question was asked by Dennis M. I happen to know this person very well. And he asked me, is there much thievery on the trail? The truth is, there is not a lot of thievery on the trail, but there is some for sure. So let's go back to 2016. 2016, for the most part, all the way during the thru hike, I felt really secure just leaving my backpack out. And I never really worried about it. And a lot of people would always, chime in. It's amazing that you can just leave your backpack and trust everyone. And it seemed like that pretty much the whole way during my thru hike in 2016. But I can tell you, early on in 2016, there were these two guys hiking, and they had put in their backpacks up on the bear lines. So they attached their backpacks and hung them up on the bear lines. People do that. I think it's a horrible idea. I don't understand why people would do that. And it's definitely not designed for that. But they did it. And they stayed at this shelter. I can't remember the name of the shelter, but it's one of those that's far off the trail and kind of a local hangout. It's right before Blood Mountain. So they were staying there. They woke up, their backpacks were gone. Just gone. Now, the thing is, there are back trails to get to that shelter, locals. And sometimes the local kids get bored, man. And I think that's what happened. I think a couple kids or something went up there, saw them hanging, took them down real quietly and took them and took off. But those guys, I don't know if they got new gear or not. I never saw them again, but I couldn't believe it. But in 2016, that was the only thievery that I really heard about, to be honest. Now in 2020, I was in Maine and I had left a little bag of safety supplies out. I went to go set up my tent and I came back and that bag was gone. There were some northbounders in the shelter because it had been raining. They were trying to keep dry. They seemed really shady, and I should have known better. But I went ahead and set up my tent. But I think they saw me put that bag down. One of them took it and took off because there's no other explanation for that bag missing. And so that was the only thing that happened to me in 2016 as far as theft. But it really threw me for a loop because, like I said, in 2016, I felt so secure. Then my buddy, this guy I was hiking with named Goose, he had his fanny pack that had his camera, had his wallet, everything in it stolen. But he had that stolen in town, and it was in New Hampshire. But there was a lot of through hikers around and northbounders, so I don't know. It could have been a local, it may not, and it really wasn't a theft on trail technically. But yeah, that's really the only thing I heard of. I don't know if y'all follow Mischief, but recently he put his pack down. I think he was near a public restroom because said he went to the restroom, came back, and his camera was gone. So that's one thing. I would take my backpack if you're in a public area. I would just go ahead and take it into the bathroom with me. But yeah, I mean, honestly, there's not really a lot of theft on the trail. But if anybody had any experiences with theft while through hiking or backpacking, please leave it in the comments and let us know. All right. Hey y'all. All right, so question number 2. Have I ever felt unsafe on the trail? And if I have, what is my advice? So personally, I have never felt unsafe on the trail. But I am a man and I definitely know how to defend myself. So that may be a bit of it. I have met unsavory people on the trail. I have met homeless people on the trail. But the truth is, I never ever felt threatened. Yeah, I thought they were a little bit eccentric, a little weird. But you know what? People like that don't bother me. As a matter of fact, they kind of interest me, and I usually will talk to them, those types of people, more than just, your normie, your average normie out there. But me, personally, I've never felt threatened. Never. But that's easy for me to say. The thing is, for women, there are definitely 100% a lot of predators on the trail. There's a lot of dudes that go out there and they just want to hook up. They want a pink blaze. That's their whole intention of going out there on a through hike. So my advice to them, if you're feeling like there's someone following you and you don't like them, I would get with some guys and ask the guys to kindly let that guy know. And if he's still sticking around, I would go ahead and take a couple days off and let him get way ahead, and then maybe hike very slowly for the next 3 or 4 days so he can get way more ahead. But other than that, I mean, I can't really think of any advice to give. Of course, we know in 2019, Stronghold got murdered, unfortunately, like just crazy. I mean, and the girl who was with him got really wounded. I still don't know what happened to her. I know she survived, but I haven't heard anything else besides that. So it happens on the trail. People have been murdered on the trail. There is no doubt. It's very, very, very rare though. And I definitely would not ever let it be something that's in the back of your head ever. Okay. Have you ever seen anyone packing on the trail? Yes, I have. There are a lot more people packing on the trail than you would know. Most people, I would say 99% of them, are not going to let you know. You won't even know that they're carrying a weapon with them. in 2016, there was this one guy who ended up pulling his stuff out and someone saw his weapon. And, you know, the young SJWs who were taking a break from college or just finished college, you know, of course they started going crazy. And there was this whole gossip thing going about this guy who's crazy carrying a gun. I met the dude. I'm not going to say his name. The dude was nice, super nice guy. He's an ex-cop and he was carrying a gun. I hate to tell these people, I hate to break it to anyone out here, but it's in our Constitution. And I know right now our Constitution doesn't mean nothing, but the Second Amendment lets us carry guns. In this country, for now, you are allowed to carry a weapon with you. So if you have a problem with it, maybe being out in the woods is not the best thing for you. So me, I have no problem with people carrying guns on the trail at all. Not at all. Do I carry one? Nope, I don't, because I don't feel like I need to. And that's another thing. In 2016, these SJWs I was hiking around with, they were like asking me if I felt like I needed to carry a gun around, because we had been talking about that guy. And I made this joke. I was like, I lived in Atlanta for 10 years. And if any time I needed a gun, it was then, ha ha ha. And one of the girls said, that sounds kind of racist. And I couldn't believe she said that to me. I was like, how is that racist? I don't know. That's one thing. You will meet a lot of pretentious virtue signaling SJWs through hiking. Unfortunately, they're everywhere and you're going to meet them. And if you're not into that kind of a person, I would stay away from them. But yes, there are plenty of guns on the trail, plenty of people carry them, and that is just a fact. But you may never know. You may hike with someone for miles and miles and never know that they're carrying a gun, because most responsible gun owners don't talk about it. All right, so for the next question was asked by Gregory P. He asked me, what was my most memorable event on my 2020 flip? And for him, he thought it was when I went under the water in Dismal Falls. And Greg, that was definitely one of the most memorable events on my through hike. A lot of people think that I walked across the log. I tried to walk across the log and I didn't. What I did is I used the log to bump up against me so I would stay upright and the current wouldn't take me away. But what happens when I got in the middle, the current just grabbed my feet and just lifted me and right under the log. And I mean, I was completely submerged. Somehow I grabbed the log, climbed back up. I don't know how I did it. I mean, there's all kinds of boulders in there. The water was just crazy. I could have hit my head and drowned easily that day. It was definitely the most sketchiest part of my hike, no doubt about it. And definitely one of the most memorable too. But for me, my most memorable was on my second to last day on my through hike, the last day in Virginia. And I was hiking on this section and it was just, you just have these beautiful, beautiful pastures. And then you'd go into woods and then come out in pastures. And it was just such an epic day. And it was weird. It was my last day. And I had like excruciating pain, knee pain that whole time I was in Virginia. And that last day, for some reason, it just wasn't really there. I could feel it, but it was not bad at all. And so towards the end of that hike, I hiked right through where Stronghold's memorial is. And it was the campsite where he was murdered at. And I hadn't known, I was looking out for it during the whole time in Virginia. I wasn't exactly sure where it was, but I passed through it, and man, I don't know, such weird emotions came over me. And then going southbound, you climb over one of those little stalls and you go through these pastures again, and it was just with all these cows, and it was such a surreal moment. And then when my wife picked me up and we were driving back, all of a sudden we realized that was the 1 year anniversary that Stronghold got murdered. I just happened to hike that section and pass his memorial on the 1 year anniversary of his death. And I did not plan that. And so that was just so weird and bizarre. And there was something about that, and I still can't wrap my head around it, but there was something about that. I don't know. That was definitely my most memorable moment on the trail. In that episode, Ballad of a Freedom Lover, people think that that's me, the freedom lover. It isn't. I made that video for Stronghold. Stronghold is the freedom lover. Stronghold was a vet, which tells me he was a freedom lover, and everything I've heard from him, from people and friends, he seemed like he was very much a freedom lover. And I named that video after Stronghold. So I'm not the freedom lover in that video. Stronghold was. And man, what a weird moment that was. But definitely my most memorable, for sure. All right, the next question was asked by Artillery Bugs, and he asked me what was my favorite sections. Maine is definitely the best state. It's hard. It's either the 100-Mile Wilderness or the Bigelows in Maine. That's my favorite section. I don't know what it is. The 100-Mile Wilderness is just amazing. It has all the lakes, and during the summer, it's just incredible. And the Bigelows is just majestic. I don't know. It's amazing to me. But honestly, almost all of Maine is just incredible. It's definitely my favorite state, and my favorite sections are in there. But of course, there's tons of great sections all along the trail. The Southern Appalachians have great sections. The Little Hump and Big Hump Mountain section, man, is amazing. Probably one of the best in the Southern Appalachians. And then he asked what was my worst shelter experience. My worst shelter experience was a camp spot. I was camped at a shelter, and it was in Maine. And it was like, there must have been, I'm not even kidding, there must have been 100 people camped there. And when I got up in the morning to put my tent up, I was like the first one up, and someone had actually put their tent strap around mine. And so I had to pull mine up and under out of theirs. And it was just a mess. I've never seen a camp spot that crowded in my life. And then the worst of course, the Smokies, the shelters in the Smokies with all the mice, horrible experience. And then you have to share it with everyone. And a lot of them are just trash. They're full of trash and mice, and man, it's rough getting through the Smokies. That's the worst part about the Smokies, is having to stop at the shelters and sleep inside of them. I just don't care for it. And I don't even know if I will even do the AT section of the Smokies ever again, but I probably will. Okay, and Miles and Smiles asked me, how do I go about my vlogging and my filming? Well, that's a whole nother video. I am planning on doing a video just about vlogging and how I vlog and stuff like that. And I've also told anyone out there, if there's some way you can get to Georgia and you really want to learn about the vlogging experience and how I do it like firsthand, I told anyone, contact me, we'll go out for a hike and I'll show you how to do it, no charge at all. Because that's what I like to do. I like to give back, and anyone who's really wondering how to do it, it's best to go and do it firsthand. But I am going to do a video all about it, so you can see my secrets and how I set up shots and all that stuff when it comes to vlogging on the trail. All right, y'all, that's all for today. That's all the questions I got asked on that video. I may do another video like this, so if you want to ask me more questions, just go ahead and put them down in the comments. I don't know how many views I'm going to get on this video, considering the thumbnail and the title. Oh man, I just thought it would be funny, and this video is really more for my subscribers. And so I just thought it would be a funny thing to do, and I hope y'all got a smile out of it and a laugh, because I know we all can use one nowadays, and that is for sure. So, yeah, man, the sun's getting ready to set. What a beautiful day. I got 10 miles in today. I feel good. And until next time, I will talk to you then. All right.